one more YouTube video, one more hour of scrolling, just one more website update, one more mastermind course, one more creator's preset pack. If you've said any of these before, today, I'm gonna help you make one less excuse. What's up? I'm Jay LeBlanc, wedding photographer and photography educator. Starting a photography business can be hard. Taking that leap from hobbyist to entrepreneur can be scary, but making excuses will only prevent you from ever reaching your goal. Listen, I was there once. Every working photographer was there once, and I've helped dozens of people overcome these hurdles that you first face when starting a photography business. Today, we're gonna go through some of the biggest struggles that you may face as a photographer when starting a business and how to overcome them. And stick around to the end, because number 7 is my favorite. And I really wish somebody had told me this when I was starting my business. Listen, if you think your photography sucks, it probably does. So just turn this video off and go watch something else, because this is a waste of your time. I'm just kidding, don't go anywhere. This video is here to help you if you think your photography sucks. A lot of working professionals still think that their work can use a lot of improvement. But that's the key ingredient to being a successful photographer. Never be complacent with where you are. Always strive to be more creative and do things better than you did last time. That's what makes good photographers great photographers. Regardless of how you look at your own work, there's so much potential out there if you're willing to put in the work. It's the photographers that get wrapped up in their own ego are the ones that are the loudest and probably making the least amount of money. And at the end of the day, we're starting a photography business because we want to make money. It may have been a hobby or interest of ours at some point, but now we want to take this hobby of ours and start paying some bills with it. Plus, it could be a very rewarding job. Making money with your camera doesn't get much better than that. Our first struggle, and probably the biggest struggle that most photographers are going to face, is how do I get clients? Unless you were handed a business that was already running and extremely successful, chances are every photographer has gone through how do you get clients? Because clients is what's paying your bills, right? So how do we get them come knocking at our door? There's so many different options. Some of them can seem a little daunting. Some of them are a little tedious. But at the end of the day, you got to put in the legwork if you want to make the money. Photographers ask, where do I start? How do I get that first paying client? And once you get that first paying client, how do you get a second one? How do you get a third one? How do you get enough clients so you're not standing on the corner on Friday nights selling who knows what to help pay the bills? My first piece of advice is going to be put yourself out there. You gotta have a website. As a photographer, you need an online presence. You can't just tell people that you're a photographer and not show your work anywhere. You need a website, social media at the very least, but I really encourage a website and a good email address, not yourname@gmail.com. It should be maybe yourname@yourwebsite.com. That looks much more professional. It doesn't cost a lot of money to get that up and running. It's less than the price of going out to eat for dinner. And this is actually gonna make you money. So get your website up and running, get an email address for people to contact you, and start putting yourself out there. Choose a social media platform and start posting your work on a regular basis. Just let people know, people you're already friends with, family members, friends, coworkers, colleagues, classmates, let them know that you are a photographer. A lot of people forget these things until it's something that they need. So you want to stay relevant in people's minds. I'm sure if you are over the age of 25, you have at least 1, 2, maybe even 10 friends that like to remind you on a daily basis that they're a real estate agent. So what's so bad about you telling people that you're a photographer? Let's be honest, people rather look at a pretty picture than look at some person they don't even know just listed their house for sale, right? No offense against real estate agents. My best friend's a real estate agent and I make fun of them all the time. You might be asking, do I market myself? Do I pay for ads? And when we're first starting off, we probably don't have a lot of money unless we already have a full-time career. So we want to be wise with our money, right? So maybe we don't want to pay for ads. Word of mouth marketing can be your best friend. Offer to do free shoots in exchange for reviews. Good reviews will help you rank higher on Google in order for people to find you and your website. Everybody reads reviews these days. So one of the best things that you can do is ask for reviews. When you're first starting off, ask your friends and family to leave a review for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody who you have shot for, but it can just be somebody commenting on the type of person that you are and your personality. This way, when people are searching for you and they're reading these reviews, they get a feel for who you are as a person before they even reach out to you. I go way more into depth with this topic in this video right here. So if you're looking for more ideas, check it out when you're done with this video. You have to stay consistent with your shooting and post new material. Am I saying you have to go out and shoot every single day? No, not at all. But at least do 1-2 shoots maybe a month so you have fresh content so you can post a few times a week. And don't forget to share your work. If you have imposter syndrome, where you think you may not be as good of a photographer as you actually are, just post it online and don't look at anything. Don't look at the likes, the comments, the engagement, anything. Post it, delete the app until next time you gotta post something again. And speaking of imposter syndrome is struggle number 2. A lot of good photographers struggle with this. They look at their work and they think they're not good enough. Their work is just mediocre compared to everybody's online. Well, in reality, if you're a photographer, you're probably already better than 90% of the population who aren't photographers. So you shouldn't necessarily compare your day 1 to somebody else's day 100. You don't know how far they are along in their career. So don't compare yourself to other photographers. If you find yourself scrolling through social media, comparing yourself to other photographers, thinking there's no way you'll ever be that good, just unfollow them. Use other photographers for inspiration, not jealousy. If you've ever experienced imposter syndrome before, drop a like below, because I don't know a single photographer who hasn't. So we're gonna see how many likes versus views I get on this video to see how many people are actually telling the truth. Or maybe they just clicked off this video within the first 5 seconds and didn't get this far. Either way, you can't see who likes a video on YouTube. Let's just show everybody right now that if you're a photographer at some point, you've probably struggled with imposter syndrome. I know I have, and still to this day I experience it, where I wonder, am I really good enough to be doing this and charging what I charge? And then I hear the remarks from the people that I work for, and that reassures me that I think I'm doing a pretty good job. So don't compare yourself to other photographers. They're probably not the ones hiring you. Let the people who are writing your paychecks tell you how good or not good of a job you're doing. Struggle number 3, and this is a tough one. Social media and likes. Personally, I'm one of those people that are like, I wish social media was never a thing. But as a creative, but as somebody who runs a business, it's almost a necessity. But don't be too focused on social media and the likes. Use it to get your work out to potential clients. And if you have any addiction problems to it or jealousy problems to it, just post and ghost. Go on, post what you gotta post, and don't look at it until you need it again. Like I said earlier, if you have a problem with social media, post, get rid of the app, and then move on until next time that you need it again. But let's be honest, followers, they don't pay the bills. Yeah, I know influencers and all those people can tell you to go use their product and save 10% and they get a small commission. It's only a very, very small handful of people that are making a living doing that. You have a much better chance of operating a 6-figure photography studio. Followers and likes don't pay the bills. They don't put food on our table. It's really just for your internet clout from a bunch of people you don't even know. There's many photographers out there who are making a full-time living with no social media. So my biggest tip for this is focus on your network. I know social media is a network, right? But focus on the network of people you actually know. People that you work with, people who are going to refer work to you, or people that are going to put money in your pocket. Those are the people you should be spending more time focused on, not somebody from another country who's commenting on your pictures saying that you crush the blacks too much. The next struggle, building a quality portfolio. One thing that I see a lot from newer photographers is a portfolio where it's very clear all those pictures occurred in 1, 2, maybe 3 shoots. You're seeing the same face over and over, or the same car, or the same house, whatever type of photography it is, you're just seeing a lot of the same thing. And it's very obvious. So to a consumer, it almost seems like you lack experience because you only have one thing really on your website. So we need to build a quality portfolio. But you might be asking, how do you do that? Well, if you're photographing something that requires people, offer a free shoot in exchange for a review or 2. So it's a win-win. They get a couple good pictures, you get some new portfolio pieces and a review, or run a giveaway. This will help maybe with your social media following or spreading your brand awareness, letting people know that, hey, there's a photographer in your area. And with your giveaway, tell the people that win that it's at a location that you choose. That way you can pick a location that'll help fill out your portfolio for your ideal client. For example, if you never want to take pictures at a beach, don't let the people that you're giving a free shoot to say, let's go to the beach, if you have no intention of ever doing beach photography. If you're looking to get into something that doesn't require people, such as automotive photography, go to car shows. There's always people there that love having pictures of their cars taken. Maybe you want to shoot musicians or bands. I don't know about you, but the bars and pubs near me, every Friday, Saturday night have live music. Go out, take a couple pictures of them, offer them to the band for free, say, here you go, post them on your social media, just tag me in them. Then they get some good quality work for them to post. they're spreading your name to their big audience that they already have, and then you potentially get some pictures for your portfolio. Maybe you want to shoot nature, landscapes, animals. Well, just go outside. Maybe you want to get into real estate photography. Reach out to a local real estate agent, offer to do a property for free. Or you're probably living somewhere right now. Why not just shoot wherever you're living? Another good option, you have to check with regulations, but some libraries you could even offer to go and shoot. Maybe you're staying at a hotel or an Airbnb. Photograph the room that you're staying in or the house you're staying in. Nobody has to know that you weren't paid to do that shoot. These are all options to just help build your portfolio. The next struggle that I hear far too often is photographers focused way too much on their gear. They're always thinking they need the newest, latest, greatest piece of equipment just to do the same quality of work as another photographer. I know photographers making a full-time living shooting on camera bodies that are 15 years old. Yes, 15 years old. It's not always about the gear. Sure, certain pieces of gear will help you in some situations, but you don't need the newest and latest greatest every time something new comes out. Just look at YouTube. The most viewed photography videos are gear videos. It seems like that's all people really care about. They'd rather put money in the pockets of these manufacturers than money in their own pockets. But I hate to break it to you, new gear's probably not going to make you any better. So my advice would be just learn the gear you already have. Master that gear. And when you find the limitations of that gear, then look at buying new equipment. And ask yourself, will this new gear help me do a better job? Will this new gear put more money into my pocket, or will it make my life easier? Or maybe you're just balling and you got the money to spend. Well, then good for you. Go ahead, buy the gear. Just skip to the next struggle in this video. And the next struggle, rejection. So many photographers are scared of the word no. I hate to break it to you. You're gonna hear no way more than you hear yes. So just get used to it. It's just part of the game. And a little fun fact, most photographers who are keeping numbers accurately hear no way more than they hear yes. You will be rejected far more often than somebody is writing you a check. I personally keep track of these numbers. For example, when I meet with a bride and groom, I have an 82% close rate. So you might say, Jay, that's not failing. That's really good. Well, let's factor in the amount of inquiry emails I get and I respond and then just get completely ghosted. Well, that 82% drops down to 38%. And then let's factor in how many people who go to my website and say, nope, they're not for me. That's technically a no, but there's no way of really tracking that. And you factor in all those metrics, my fail rate is much higher than my success rate. So my tip here would be go get rejected. Go to the bar, ask that girl for her number, let her say no to you. Make that call to that dream client of yours, tell them you have an amazing idea, let them say no to you. I mean, maybe they'll say yes, but it's okay if they say no. Because you can go back in 6 months when you're more well prepared, maybe that time they'll say yes. The more times you get rejected, the easier it's going to be to handle that rejection. I promise you it's not the end of the world if people tell you no. It's just part of business. No business is 100% of the time closing every client they meet with. It's just the name of the game. So get used to it. The next struggle that a lot of photographers face is educating their clients. I get emails all the time where people will just say, I need pictures taken of my daughter's birthday. How much do you charge? I want portraits on the beach. How much is it? People don't know what they don't know. They don't understand how much goes into photography as well as how many variables there are. It's not a black and white menu that we're offering here. So you're gonna have to educate people because they don't live in this world of photography. So you're going to need to teach them. And it may seem very repetitive, but there's things that you could do about it. You could create a page on your website with a lot of these FAQs that you might get from people all the time. You can put into place a good contact form on your website that asks very specific questions that'll help you better serve these people when you first reach out to them. Have a contact form with things such as a date for the shoot, a location, a budget, who's the decision maker, contact information, an email, a phone number. The contact form is going to vary depending on the type of photography that you do, but make sure you're collecting enough of this information up front that you can better serve your client. If you just have a contact form that says name, email, message, it's like walking into a restaurant and not knowing what type of food they serve. You know that they serve food, but who knows what you're getting? And don't get aggravated with people when you have the same conversation with them over and over and over again. It's going to happen. Especially as a wedding photographer, I'm dealing with people that, for the most part, it's the first and only time they're getting married. I may have been through this conversation hundreds of times, but for them, It's the first time. So you need to educate them and let them know how things work, and that way it'll make your life so much easier as you work with these people. The next biggest struggle, this one here, is the one I wish somebody told me about when I was starting off, and that is understanding the business of photography. As somebody who went to school for photography and now teaches photography at a college, they don't really teach you too much about the business aspect of photography while you're in school. And if you're just watching YouTube videos all the time, those are the videos on people's channels that get the least amount of views. So they get hidden really far down in playlists that nobody's interested in. But they're probably some of the most important videos you could be watching if you want to run a photography business. Nobody really cares about the business part, but so many people struggle with it. Many people don't even realize what will become about 70% of what you do if you run your own business. Only 30% is taking pictures, editing them, sending them to clients. There's a lot of things that go into the business side of photography. So my suggestion here will be spend an equal amount of time watching the fun videos as you do the educational business videos. So for every time you watch a video on gear, on shooting, on editing, watch a video on how to run a successful business. Watch a video on marketing. Watch a video on how to work with people. Watch a video on how to handle taxes. It's not fun. It's not sexy. It's not the newest camera coming out next week, but it is very important if you want to run your own business. For the next struggle, it's work-life balance. What does that mean? Well, for most photographers, at one point, photography was a hobby, and they wanted to take it to the next step and make it a business. Well, now it's a business, it's a job. Do we still love it as much as we did when it was a hobby? My biggest suggestion will be still shoot the stuff that you love just as much as you shoot the stuff that puts money in your pocket. Now, I know that might be hard, especially once you're running a successful business, to take as much time to go shoot for yourself as you do for shooting for other people, because you're going to have a lot of obligations for paying clients. But if you can, pick up your camera, go out 1-2 times a month, and continue to shoot things that you love. You don't even have to post them anywhere. Maybe print them out, hanging them up in your house. But just continue to shoot those things that you love and remind yourself of why you started this in the first place. Well, if you're facing any of the struggles I mentioned in this video, I hope some of my tips will help you out. Is there anything else that I missed though? What are some other big struggles that you are currently facing, or maybe you faced when you first started your business? Comment down below of some of the things that you might be struggling with, or some of the things that you struggled with when you started your business and how you overcame them. And then maybe somebody else will comment on your post and help you out with some of those struggles you might be facing. And until next time, peace.